Greetings and welcome. I wanted to highlight something that I read a while back and just wanted to record some video. This is regarding a story, and this happened a while ago. It's happened about 44 years ago. I will say that. The reason I want to talk about it because I want to talk about the injustices that this young girl had to suffer from. Her family had to suffer the aftermaths of this, and it was a senseless killing that could have been avoided many ways, hindsight looking back. And I'm going to read some articles here to give you an idea of what was going on at that time. This article is from Jet Magazine, September 5th, 1974. I'm using that as a reference. And it said here, man shoots girl 15 times, thought she was a killer. As 30 angry citizens waited in an enclave at Detroit's Highland Park, 24-year-old Rudolph Acosta surrendered to police in connection with the fatal shooting of a 12-year-old newspaper delivery girl. Acosta shot Edith Perchman 15 times in an apparent case of mistaken identity as the girl delivered a newspaper to his Highland Park address. The girl's father and a sister who had come along to help her on the route witnessed the shooting from their car. Acosta allegedly told police he shot the girl thinking she was hired killer sent to kill him in a connection with a drug-related family feud. Now, this drug family related feud I'm going to get into with this article here that was published in the Benton Harbor News, August 22nd, 1974. Gives you more depth of what was going on in his family. And here we go. Drugs and death have ensured the family of Rudolph Acosta, who shot an innocent 12-year-old newspaper girl at his door because he thought she was a hitman sent to kill him. In February, Acosta's brother was murdered in San Antonio, Texas. This August, an Acosta relative died of a heroin overdose. Police suspect was administered to him. So basically, they're saying that he was murdered by drugs. And police have linked the death of an unrelated man to a drug feud involving the Acostas. Rudolph Acosta, 24, surrendered to a judge on Wednesday and was free on a $100,000 bond after his arraignment on second-degree murder charges in the pre-dawn death Sunday of Edith Perchman. The latest threat to Acosta, according to his attorney, is a lynch mob that wants to get him in the neighborhood, urban community of Highland Park, where the shooting took place. Acosta was originally charged with manslaughter and freed on a $2,500 bond, but 200 angry citizens stormed Highland Park Police headquarters, demanding Acosta be rearrested and charged with murder. Wayne County prosecutors then increased the charge. Narcotics investigators are reluctant to reveal details of the various Acosta probes, but the public records suggest Acosta may have reasons for his belief that he was the target of a hitman sent from Saginaw, Michigan, that is. Jose Torres, 56, of Carlton, died August 2nd of a heroin overdose, police said. Torres was a reputed drug dealer and a relative by marriage to the Acosta family. Acosta's brother Ruben, 28, was shot to death February 3rd behind a bar in San Antonio. Moses Diaz, 33, of San Antonio, pleaded guilty to the murder and is now serving a 10-year sentence in a Texas prison. Vincent T. Gutierrez Jr., 26, of Carlton, was found dead on the outskirts of Saginaw on August 12th with 8 bullets in his head. Police said his murder was a retaliation for Torres' death. Gutierrez was arrested in March on narcotic charges. He was found in possession of $5,000 worth of uncut heroin, 1,500 pills, 8 guns, and $100 worth of marijuana, police said. On August 7th, Highland Park police say they raided the Acosta home to search for an infant Acosta relative allegedly abducted from his Saginaw family. Police say they peacefully retrieved the baby from the Highland Park resident, but at the same time found 30 pounds of marijuana in the house and charged Acosta's father, Ruben, with drug possession. Another of Acosta brothers, Arturo, 26, was arrested in San Antonio on November 16, 1973, for possession of marijuana and guns. Now, as I read that article, the things that are popping out to me are cartel. I believe he is of Mexican descent or Mexican American descent, and it seems like there's a big cartel connection with his family as far as the drugs and just the various crimes and hitman type activities that were going on. I don't know how they ended up in Michigan, of all places. I don't. And his family to be ended up in Highland Park. They must have figured out it was a great hideout spot because at that time Highland Park is a majority African American community. It was a community with inside of Detroit. And nearby there was a Polish American community called Hamtramck. So I'm curious to figure out what would make them live there in that area, considering the background of what they were about. I'm going to read another article here, which was a continuation from Jet Magazine. This was September 12th, 1974. And this said, Kanye's promise, the probe of Michigan girls' killing. The House Subcommittee on Crime will investigate the slaying of a 12-year-old black girl in Highland Park, Michigan, according to Representative John Conyers, Democrat, Michigan. The young girl, Edith Perchman, was killed as she delivered a newspaper to the home of Rudolph Acosta, 24. She was shot 15 times, allegedly by Acosta, who said he thought she was a hitman. Police first charged Acosta with manslaughter and released him on $2,500 bail. Later, the charge was changed to second-degree murder, and the bail was raised to $100,000. Acosta paid the bail and was released. So basically, he had money to get out the second time. So he was charged a higher charge, a higher bail amount, and he was still able to post that bail and be free for a while until the trial happened. And it's crazy. And this article shows a picture of her mother at the funeral. I haven't found a lot of information on the young girl or her family. Just limited to these article pieces. And this was a while ago. It's not like it is today where you get all type of social media information and stuff like that. So this is very tragic. And eventually she did get some justice served, but it took the community to proactively, I wouldn't say harass, but to proactively get involved and get the police department involved in doing what was necessary to convict this guy. And as you can see, that it was a criminal history past. There's criminal history behind a lot of this. Had he been arrested before, who knows? Maybe her death could have been avoided. Who's to say? I will read this other article here, which is the trial. So the trial happened the following year in 1975. This article was produced March 12, 1975. And it says here, Rudolph Acosta was scared for his life when he fired 2 fatal gunshots at a young newspaper delivery girl last summer. He believed the girl was a hitman. with a contract on his life. Acosta testified in Wayne County Circuit Court yesterday that he did not realize the medium-sized figure he saw through his living room window last August 18th was the newspaper delivery girl. Edith Perchman, 12, was killed by a hail of bullets that stormed Acosta's gun that dawn. Acosta has been charged with second-degree murder in her death. Acosta told the court his wife woke him up when she heard a car pull in front of their Highland Park home. He ran to the window, which was obstructed by sheer curtains, and immediately opened fire on the person walking towards the door. Acosta testified he was nervous and fearful for his life. Therefore, he said the person appeared to be throwing some object towards his house, which he believed was a firebomb. I was scared for my life, Acosta said. I thought the car was a hitman. I didn't want to give them a chance to return the fire. He was living in fear, of course. So he ended up just shooting fire. She got shot in the face, from what I read elsewhere. And like I said, she pulled herself back up. She ran towards the car. He continued firing. So he was firing in the intent to kill. I don't know if he recognized if it was a little girl at that time or what. As she was running to the car, the father had jumped out the car to grab her because he realized what happened. He and her were running back to the car while he's still shooting. Acosta's still shooting at them. They jump in, speed off. Her sister didn't get hit or anything. They didn't get hit. His father didn't get hit. The father crashed his truck because the door was not fully closed, and Edith fell out the car into the pavement and was rushed later to the hospital, and she died. And this is very sad because what she was doing that morning was to just go and deliver newspapers. That was her job. That's what she was inclined to do. I don't know. I tried to look for some information regarding the family and what happened. Her sister was a year younger than her. I don't know if she had any other siblings. They didn't mention that. They really didn't talk too much about her background or her history, or her parents. I did see something later that they did dedicate a park with her name. And it's interesting that they had Congressman Conyers at the time to probe into this case, that he need to even probe into it, because automatically it seemed like justice and nothing was going to be done about this. This person had a criminal history, like I said, and he's probably part of a cartel, and he was in fear of his own life because of things that were being done in his own family with drug related, criminal related. And as you can see, he ended up killing an innocent girl. At the end of the trial, I read somewhere, I think they finished up in April, he was sentenced to 20 years. Or I think it was something I saw, 7 to 20 years in jail. I couldn't find any more information after that. If he got out, if he moved out of Michigan, if he relocated, if he lived, or if he became a repeated offender, or if he died. I don't know. Still researching. I was researching for a moment, couldn't find anything, but I just wanted to really focus on how tragic this was. And probably haven't been heard of for many people out there. But like I said, if you search her name, it's in the title bar. We'll find some information on this case, and that's about it for me. But thank you again for listening. Please comment, share, like, and until the next time.